No, folks, when I report on Iran, I try to be as independent as possible in my repertoire, commentary, opinion. But today, I'm going to be a little more personal. As mentioned in my last show, I was alive in 1979. I was about 10 years old during the Iranian American hostage situation. Okay, the hostage crisis. My fellow Americans, our fellow Americans with hoods and blindfolds being held for 444 days, a very weak president. We were humiliated. And I don't want to hear it's 50 years ago. Do I want to relitigate it? Yep, I want to relitigate it. As I said, you know something? I want some payback for what I saw when I was 10 years old. How dare them? So, Donald Trump lighting up Iran, I got to tell you, doesn't exactly break my heart. It really doesn't. Because they had to be dealt with eventually, folks. They really did. I don't want to hear the Obama deal was better than this. Iran was still Iran, full of mullahs. They kill their own people. They killed Americans. They hang people off bridges. They set people on fire. We're so used to being Americans, and I'm so used to being able to come on here and say what I want to say, and you folks can say what you want to say or do what you want to do in most cases with no repercussions. Not so much in Iran. If you're gay, they will put you in the ground, leaving your face exposed, and stone you to death. See where I'm coming from? These people aren't a bunch of sweethearts. That's all I'm saying. And I will continue to say, welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. Welcome to Joe Rossano Show. Hi, I am Joe Rossano. Iran, they are bombing the shit out of Iran, says President Trump, and he's absolutely right. Here's the thing, I guess, that I can't get my big, fat, thick head to comprehend is that we're losing the war. I kind of don't understand that because what I do is I'll look at like photographs or images of Las Vegas or Los Angeles or Oregon. Looks okay to me, but Iran sure doesn't. When President Trump is considering or has destroyed bridges and infrastructure and telecommunication stuff, everybody's up in arms. Everybody's a war crime. You can say it about Bill Clinton in Kosovo. Barack Obama blew the heck out of Libya, bridges, the whole 9 yards. Nobody said a word. Nobody screamed war crimes. You hate Donald Trump, and that's why you hate the war. That's the bottom line. Now, before I get into this and tell you the 27 reasons why you are wrong, some of you, please click subscribe, like, share, comment, click that notification bell for all the latest episodes of the Joe Rossano Show. All right. So, what do we got here? We have a full-on war now. All right. That MOU is finished. No deal. He's just going to, President Trump, he's just going to blow the heck out of that country. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's not going to send ground troops in there, but he's going to send F-35s and stealth and bunker busters and fire cruise missiles and everything else at that country every single minute of every single day. Again, I just have to get back to this. Stop, some of you, acting like you're from Iran. It's like you're rooting for them. I've got comments from some of you saying that was 50 years ago. Are you still upset about that? Yep, still am. Too soon. Too soon. So, yeah, when I see an explosion over there in Iran, you know what I say? The hostages from 1979 say hello. I'm sick of this nonsense. Some of you out there hate Trump so much that you're willing to say, we lost the war, or this is a terrible idea, or why are we doing this and why are we doing that? Now, I don't disagree. President Trump made it very clear. I'm not George W. Bush. No more wars in the Middle East. especially quagmire wars in the Middle East. Well, it's not because he's just bombing them from the air. There are no ground troops in downtown Tehran. They're not going door to door with sledgehammers. All right. It's a kind of more of a modern style Western war now. But, folks, I just got to tell you, somewhere, sometime, somehow, in some capacity, Iran had to be dealt with. All right. This is not like a country that just sends soldiers somewhere to fight a war like it was in 1940. This is not the 15th, 16th, or 17th century where the Persians marched and Xerxes led them into battle against Leonidas. Those days are over. All right. They pay the Houthis, they pay Hezbollah, they pay Hamas to kill people. And what don't you understand? And can you imagine if you look at the Strait of Hormuz? They basically try to hold the world hostage because the Strait of Hormuz is pretty darn important. 20% of the world's oil goes out of there, fertilizer, and about 80% of it goes to Asian nations, China, Japan, South Korea. So, a pretty important waterway there. And they threaten it all the time, drop mines in it, and this and that. Can you imagine if they had a nuclear weapon? Imagine that. Iran has a nuclear weapon. Who would they threaten then? These folks are bad actors. They're terrorists. Boom. Bottom line. The Ayatollah was not Moses. The new Ayatollah. He's not King David. He's not John the Flippin' Baptist. These are murderous people. And as Lieutenant Aldo Rain once said, they need to be destroyed. They really do. They are every bit as bad as the Nazis were. And I'll say that out loud. I'll say it right here. You're darn right they are. Look what they do to people. Throw people off buildings, cut people's legs off. If you play soccer over there or football and you don't say exactly what the government wants you to say, dead. It's not like a trial where, Mark Garagos comes in and defends you and there's news cameras everywhere. Did you say this? Yes, dead. Did you say this? No, I didn't say that. Well, we don't believe you're dead. Do you see who we're dealing with here? And some of you act like, really, you were born and raised in Iran, some of you. You're happy to see what goes on over there, them burning American flags and screaming death to America. I am way more worried, quite frankly, in the 21st century, as I reach my late 50s, I'm more worried about our own fellow citizens than I am the darn Iranians. What does that say? Some of the things you guys post and some of the comments that you make, like, I'm a bad guy if I want the United States to win the war. United States didn't win the war, Rossano. You're stupid. Am I? I'll tell you what. Go over to Iran right now and try to rent an apartment. Oh, there isn't any. They're all blown up. See what I mean? I'm just not sure what losing the war looks like to folks. I think that because all of the Iranian leadership did not come to the shores of Iran and say, we surrender, Mr. President, take us in handcuffs. That's a loser to some of you. That's what I think anyway. That's what it looks like. I wake up and have a cup of coffee. They wake up to boom. All right. You know why? Because they acted poorly and God was watching. We live in a country where it seems like those who benefited the most from this lovely country hate it the most. You got Hollywood. These people are trillionaires and they hate the United States. Like they would ever have been able to do what they did in Canada or England or anywhere else. Speaking of which, I'm going to give you an example of something. If you watch Lincoln, the Abraham Lincoln movie, Abraham flippin' Lincoln isn't even an American. Daniel Day-Lewis played Abraham Lincoln. Couldn't put a beard on Mel Gibson. That's where we are. Can't even get an American to play Abraham Lincoln. Sacrilegious. And some of you are just so radical, so far left. that you want dudes in my daughter's bathroom. You want me to go into the bathroom, and instead of washing my hands, what's in front of me? A tampon machine. No. You want dudes, which is exactly what they are. They're dudes in a boxing ring with biological women. You want biological, and that doesn't even bother some of you. What bothers some of you is that President Trump put a stop to it. All right. A young lady that many of you say you champion girls, you champion women. Let a guy swim against them and beat all their records. Shame on some of you. I got to tell you, I never thought I would live to see the day where I was my father and I said, love it or leave it. Love it or leave it. But what I can tell you is this. U.S. isn't losing the war, and eventually, somewhere, sometime, somehow, there's going to be a regime change over there in Iran. All right. There's going to be a president that is Western friendly because I think Donald Trump has just about had enough negotiation. Now, you could say that the U.S. negotiated in bad faith, but did they? Did they? Every time Iran said they were going to do something, they didn't. And then they're firing on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. There's not an insurance company on Earth that will insure any of those vessels, so it's stopped. So we're there. We had the ordnance. We had the weapons. I say finish the darn job already. Just eliminate them. Really, unless you have a better notion. Sure, I did not want this war to start in the first place, and I made myself very clear there as a person. But, the more I think about it, again, nah, I don't think I do anymore. You took our hostages, and it's payback time. You killed American citizens. It's payback time. You paid Hezbollah. You paid Hamas. You paid the Houthis to fire on American vessels. It's payback time. And it doesn't hurt my feelings. Sorry. Now, if you dig this, please subscribe. Please like, share. Click that notification bell if you're a patriotic American. You support our troops, support our president, and don't love Iran. And as always, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, I graciously appreciate you hanging out. There's a million podcasts out there, and some of you were kind enough to check out your pal Joe Rossano, and don't think that goes overlooked. What I also ask you don't overlook is please adopt yourself a pet. God bless you, my dearest friends and fellow Americans, at least the ones who actually love America. And we'll see you next time.